Hi everyone, my name is Robert Tanner. I'm currently an information systems student at Auburn University, Montgomery. I'm here today to try to persuade you to have a more positive lookout in life. Life doesn't have to be horrible. You also need to know that life is short, so try to make the most of it. And in order to make the most of life, you need to enjoy the small things in life. As one commentator once put it, it is the small steps that ultimately climb mountains. Vaughn EDU mentioned that you don't need to be so hard on yourself. As a college student, it's hard not to be hard on yourself, especially when you get a bad grade, like on that essay that you're working so hard on, but your teacher doesn't like it. I've been there and I understand. Being able to take control of your life is something that all of us struggle with. But in reality, we really don't have to take control of it, at least in the bigger picture. Now, collectively, we all need to try to look at the small things in life. Like, for example, instead of looking at that entire grade in your class, oh man, I got an F in English, don't look at it that way. Look at it as, on that next essay, I'm going to bring my F up to a D. And then you focus on each individual assignment. It's a lot better to look at the small things in life than to look at the entirety of life, because quite frankly, 75 plus years worth of life is not something our human brains are able to consume in one taking. And that's why a lot of college students these days are struggling. And I want to see if I can help you with that. According to the Mayo Clinic, they're an institution of health, they said that positive thinking doesn't mean that you have to ignore the troubles in your life to be happy. And you don't have to just stick your head in the sand and act like you don't hear them, even though they're obviously there. Instead, you need to pursue those negative things, but in a positive way. Instead of looking at every negative thing that happens to you in life in a negative way, I encourage you to, every time you think something negative, whether it's about your grade on an essay or on a test, or even if it's family, if you're having trouble with your family, I certainly know how that feels. Instead of looking at each individual situation saying, hey, I'm struggling here, I'm just done with it, I'm tired of it, I can't do this anymore. Instead of thinking that way, or if you find yourself thinking that way, come up with five positive things that you can do to help you with that. Like, for example, if I'm thinking that I'm going to do horrible on this test, okay, well, that's not a good thing to think that way. It's you're putting negative thoughts into your mind, and before you go into that test, you're going to most likely end up exactly how your mind's telling it. So think about 5 different ways it can come out. Okay, if I make a bad grade, that will show me that I need help in this subject. If you're unable to get help, which is another negative thought, so come up with 5 more there, that's fine. I'm gonna go look for help. You need to be able to think of 5 different things. Okay, let's go with number 4. Number 4 is, I'm going to do good on this test. You need to go in that test knowing that you are going to do good. And the third thing, I believe in myself. As long as you believe in yourself, have pride in your beliefs and faith during your convictions, you cannot fail. You may fail the test, but you will not fail at life, because life is supposed to teach you that you need to stay positive in the hardest situations. The second thing you can think of is, I've got people there to help me. You've got your teachers, you've got your friends, other students in the class. It's really easy to go up to someone after you've failed a test and be like, oh man, I just failed this class. I am not smart enough to take this class. I've been there. I just changed my major because I couldn't get the pre-calculus through my head to where I could think about it logically. But what I should have done is gone to a tutor. if you cannot go up to someone and ask them for help, that is actually a negative input on your life. You need to be able to ask people for help. So going up to someone is a positive influence, and asking for help is a positive influence. And the last thing, besides believing in yourself, I believe personally that you have to have faith in some other thing that is not here, physically on this earth. I personally am a Christian. As long as you have pride in your beliefs, faith in your convictions, and hope in God, you will not fail. That's what I believe. Now, there are many people that will tell you that there are other things in life that just hit them head on, and I hate to tell them this, but they're going to hit them head on, but how you take that blow is what determines who you are in life. And I encourage you today to, instead of just taking those blows as hard as you can and falling flat on your face, I encourage you to instead lift your head up. Don't back down and never stay down. Because nothing worth doing ever comes easy, but the more righteous your fight, you will not fail.